Hi, I'm Jennifer Kendall, the founder of Acuity Path. I support women entrepreneurs in understanding and transforming their relationship with money, while also mastering the systems and processes to manage it with confidence. I combine deep mindset work with practical money tools so that you can move out of fear, step into clarity, and build a future that feels supportive and sustainable. Whether you're watching this from your desk or taking a quiet pause in a busy day, I'm really glad that you're here. In today's video, we're exploring whether it's truly possible to build a calm, abundant life when the world around us feels uncertain. More specifically, how your relationship with steadiness, money, and your own nervous system are all deeply connected. My hope is that this conversation helps you see money choices with more compassion and feel more grounded and trusting in yourself as you move forward. When was the last time you felt genuinely okay about money? Not because everything was perfect, but just okay. If you took some time to answer that question, trust me, you are not alone. I was on a call recently with a client who said something that stopped me mid sentence. I feel like I'm doing everything right, but everything around me feels so shaky. I knew exactly what she meant. Everything costs more. Groceries cost more, gas costs more. Clients are pausing before they say yes. The news has become a full time job of dread management. And underneath all of it is that quiet, persistent hum. What if it all falls apart? If that hum sounds familiar, I want you to hear this very clearly. Nothing has gone wrong with you. We are living in a time where uncertainty is not the exception anymore. It's literally background noise. And so the real question, the one that it's actually worth your time, is not how do I make the uncertainty stop? Because we both know you can't. The real question is, can you build steadiness within the uncertainty? And can your business actually support you while you do it? And that is what I want to talk about today. Before we go anywhere else, I want to acknowledge what's real, not in a doom scrolling way, not in an avoidance way, just honestly. Yes, the cost of living has gone up. Yes, people are more cautious about spending. Yes, there is definitely a new real level of unpredictability right now. Pretending otherwise doesn't make you more positive. It just disconnects you from making smart decisions. Here's the shift I want to offer you. Acknowledging what's hard is not the same as surrendering your power. You can hold two truths at once. Things can feel uncertain, and still have agency in how I respond. That is not toxic positivity. That's the beginning of real steadiness. When everything around you feels unstable, your brain will try to scan everything for danger. And I get it. That response is protective, but it's also exhausting. What actually helps is gently, deliberately bringing your focus back to what's in your control. Not everything, just your lane. Your lane includes things like how you manage your money, how you structure your offers, how you spend your time and energy, how you care for yourself on the hard days. You can't control whether every client says yes or stays with you, but you can control how clearly you communicate your value, how consistently you show up, even when things are hard, how you nurture the relationships you already have. You don't need total control to feel stable. You need intentional control over the right things. And that is the distinction that I want you to have today because it can change things for you. Let's also talk about something that I think gets underestimated. The connection between your finances feeling chaotic and your nervous system feeling dysregulated because they are not separate. If your numbers feel like a mess that you're avoiding, your body is going to carry that, even when you're not thinking about it directly. So, this is where mindset alone just isn't enough. You also need structure, practical grounding, and simple structure. I'm not talking about a perfect CFO level system. I'm talking about something you'll actually use. And I want to be clear here. Even as a CPA, I do not have a perfect CFO level system. What I have is something that I use, something that helps me make decisions clearly, but it's by no means perfect. What you need is one clear place to track your income and expenses. That can even be a basic spreadsheet. A weekly 15-30 minute money check in, instead of avoiding your numbers for months at a time, that can make a big difference. Separating out your business and your personal finances, if you haven't already done so, can actually help you see what's going on in both places. And here's one I especially love: name your numbers. Not in a scary face your fears kind of way, but in a calm, that's just data way. When you know your monthly expenses, your minimum income needs, and your current revenue trends, you move out of that vague anxiety and into informed decision making. And that shift is genuinely regulating. It's one of the most powerful and underestimated tools I work with. So when fear is high, it's easy to swing into extremes. I need to slash everything. I need to make more money right now. I need to completely pivot my business. I've heard all of it. And honestly, I have felt them too. Before you act from that place of fear, when your nervous system is in overdrive, I want to invite you to take a breath. Grounded decisions sound less like emergency responses and more like what's actually working right now? Where am I overcomplicating things? What would feel sustainable for the next 3 months? So instead of chasing urgency, what if you prioritize stability? This might look like doubling down on your most reliable offer instead of launching a new one. Maybe it looks like deepening relationships with existing clients. Maybe it's simplifying your workflows so that you're not running on empty by Thursday. You don't need a dramatic overhaul. You need steady, thoughtful adjustments. And the next piece I want to talk about is one I feel strongly about and one that I feel is not talked about enough. A business that constantly drives you into stress, urgency, and overwork is not sustainable. No matter how successful that business will look like from the outside. And if you're a woman who left a demanding corporate career to build something more aligned, you know exactly what I mean. We didn't do all of this work to recreate the same pressure with a prettier logo. So I want to ask you something honestly. Does your workload feel manageable right now? Are your deadlines realistic? Do you have space to think, to rest, to breathe? And if you were growing, could you handle it? If the answer is not really, then start small. Add a little buffer between calls. Let go of one thing that's been draining. Have the conversation with the client whose boundary you've been avoiding. Think about the things that you're doing and see if everything is necessary. Think about it as designing a business your nervous system can live in, not just survive in. Because when you feel regulated, you make better decisions, you communicate more clearly, you show up with more confidence. Those things aren't luxury, those are actually strategies. But I want to close today with something that I think a lot of us need permission to hear. Abundance doesn't always mean rapid growth or record breaking months. Sometimes, especially in seasons like this one, abundance looks like consistency, stability, enoughness. It's paying your bills without panic. It's having clients who respect your work. It's waking up without the weight of dread sitting on your chest before you even open up your eyes. All of that counts. In fact, that's the foundation that real lasting growth is built on. So you're not falling behind if your focus right now is on steadiness. You're actually starting to build something that you can actually hold even when things are difficult. So, can you really build a calm, abundant life when the world feels uncertain? Yes. And you do so not by eliminating uncertainty, because we can't, not by predicting the economy or having everything figured out perfectly, because you can't, but by staying connected to your numbers, making thoughtful decisions, and building systems that support you and creating a business that genuinely feels safe to operate inside. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Calm and abundance aren't reserved for perfect conditions. They're built piece by piece in the middle of everyday real life, even now, especially now. So this week, I want to leave you with one small invitation, just one. Pick one thing from what we talked about today. Maybe it's scheduling a 15-minute money check in. Maybe it's naming your numbers for the first time. Maybe it's simply deciding that your well being is part of your business model, not something you earn when everything else is done. Let it be imperfect. Let it be a little unfamiliar, but that's not you falling behind. It's just you building something different. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today. If this resonated, if something landed for you, I'd love to hear about it. Share it in the comments or come find me and let's keep this conversation going. And if you are ready to go deeper into both the mindset and the money strategy, I'd love to support you in that. Until next time, please take good care of yourself. You are building something meaningful and you deserve to feel supported while you do it.